Hi, my name is Sanchana Krishnan and this is my story. My life has always been splashed by a liberal dose of madness. From as long as I can remember back when I was 3 years old, insomnia, nightmares. Every night in my sleep, either someone I really loved died right in front of me or I was rotting beneath piles and piles of creepy crawly insects. As I grew older, so did the mood swings. Everything was in the extremes. My love, hate, anger, want, impulse. The older I grew, a few terms began to be associated with my general state of being. Hyper, energetic, impulsive, can't wait for her turn, inconsistent. And that continued. The more I grew up, the more I grew curious about my mental health because I was, if anything, very aware, and I only grew increasingly so as my sleep left me and the mood swings grew extreme. So I was constantly growing aware that there was something that is not quite right with my general mental health. But neither did I know the terms mental health, nor did I understand it with as much clarity as I do today. And so half my life was spent in this desperate hunt to understand what the mind is, what psychology is, what is the source of these thoughts, the thoughts that I'm absolutely unable to control, the thoughts that cause me so much distress, the thoughts that drive my creative impulse that goes on for days. And I really wanted to understand, and it was only much later in grade 11 when my psychology textbook, because by then at least I had grown to understand the term psychology after intensive years of hunting, and my psychology textbook revealed the terms bipolar and borderline and OCD and schizophrenia. And I went to my mom saying that, I think I have this and I think I need to go see someone. But because of the immense stigma associated with mental health, I was dismissed. I was formally diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2014, and then with bipolar and borderline in 2016, and then with just borderline in 2018. And now I'm with another therapist where we're still figuring out what exactly my diagnoses are. If you think I had it easy and had everything figured out once I got a diagnosis, because I got it after so many years of struggle, no, that's when the game really began, because now I felt this immense sense of responsibility and started overthinking every action of mine, whether this is a result of me, who I am, or my mental illness, and I was terrified of leaving a path of damage in my wake. I guess what I'm trying to say with this is that there is never a time when you feel like you're completely over your mental illness, but with awareness, even awareness is not the all end all. It is an entire process. I don't know if there can be a life where I have zero trace of mental illness ever, but I do know this. With a lot of hard work and by driving yourself absolutely nuts, but by never really completely giving up on yourselves, and even if you do, allowing others to pull you up, there are ways when it gets better, at least for some time, and that helps you go on. I am not really qualified to hand out any sort of advice to any of my younger selves. Heck, I don't even think I can advise myself right now. But if there's something I'd like to remind the Sanchana of 2014, especially after my diagnosis, is this. There is a me that exists who is not the mental illness. So I can hold on to that during the bad times as well. I am still that me. In 2017, I finally managed to launch a mental health project called Okay, Not Okay. The idea behind the name is this, that it's okay to be okay and it's okay to be not okay. Okay, Not Okay was born out of this desperate need to do something about the state of mental health, the terrible state of mental health in my surroundings, in my country, heck, even in my entire region. Of course, there's also a very personal angle to it where I struggled with my own mental health for the longest time, and a huge part of the reason I didn't get help, apart from the fact that help wasn't easily accessible or very affordable, is that the stigma, the huge dirty stigma around the term mental illness or even the term psychologist, that those who even have the possibility of access don't get to visit one when they really need help with their mental health simply because of this stigma. You see, I come from India, a country where it's easier for people to believe in the concept of God than in the concept of mental health. And for someone who not just struggles with a mental illness but sees that so much is going wrong simply because of the failure to acknowledge mental health, it is frustrating, it is infuriating to see this happen. Okay Not Okay is in its baby stage, and the main purpose right now is to spread awareness about mental health, and that will happen in two ways. through expression and education. So I started branching out. I started experimenting with campaigns in order to capture various interests, various age groups, and also try playing with both expression and education with regards to mental health. So for World Mental Health Day last year, during around October 10th, I came up with this idea to do body art. This activation was called Splatter Speak, and it was really to acknowledge the fact that mental health takes a toll on your body, from obvious things like struggling with eating or self-harm to more subtle things where stress takes a toll on your heart or where anxiety takes a toll on your skin. And for these reasons, I wanted to use the skin as a canvas to celebrate the journey of mental health. Not romanticize, not glorify, but celebrate the resilience. My journey as a mental health advocate has led to two awesome things so far. One is being recognized by President Obama for my efforts in spreading awareness about mental health across India. And two is the fact that I reconnected with art. See, art has been a force that has almost literally saved my life, and it's been something that I've gone back to over and over again from childhood, over the years, during times good, bad, ugly, beautiful, all of it. And various forms of art, from painting and drawing to poetry to creative writing to sometimes even dance. And getting back to art, right from organizing body art events to studying expressive arts based therapy, which by the way was one of the best moves for me professionally and personally this year. But the point being, getting back into art also helped me understand how important it is to take a holistic approach to mental health, to approach mental health through the lens of psychology, through the lens of art, through the lens of psychiatry, through the lens of spirituality, through the lens of general well-being, through the lens of medicine. And it made me understand that we are so far away from where we need to be, but there is still hope, there is still research, there is still activism. I have a long way to go in terms of becoming a full-fledged therapist, but in my own way, I'm doing what I can, and I am so excited to further my path on this journey and to learn more and to immerse myself in a world where I get to understand more about the human mind and the human brain, some of the most fascinating things to exist.